go. Here we go. And we're live. What is up, everybody? Hopefully you can hear me okay. Hope you're all having a great Sunday. I did get started a little bit late, but we're not going to dwell on that. I'm excited. This one's going to be a good one, and we're preparing for a really long live next week. So let's talk a little bit about that. I went back and just was skimming through all of my previous lives, and I noticed the third live I've ever done was 2 hours and like a couple minutes long. And then just last week's live, if you stuck around till the end of it, it went really long. It was 2 hours and 20 something minutes. And as we were just talking for the last little end of the live last week, we wanted to try to see if we can break it, like basically have a record breaking long live for the 50th live that I'll ever do. Today is number 49. 49 weeks straight of going live every single week. I think it's been awesome. It's a little bit stressful, but I love it that I haven't missed any. I'm actually surprising myself every single week, so I'm excited about that. And so, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about next week. We're going to talk about escaping polygamy. I've been binge watching the whole series over again. And if you watched my last video, you know that I've given a reaction video and a review kind of talking about my episode on escaping polygamy. So lots of good stuff to talk about today. So thanks for tuning in. Let's say hi to everybody. Flinker Mary, the first one to comment in today's live. Thank you so much. Denise, the first donation. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Welcome, Melanie, Anthony, Christy, Irina. Welcome, you guys. Thanks for tuning in to another evening with Eskel. Got a lot of good stuff to talk about today. I've just been thinking a lot because the last week's live, the end was actually the most fun for me because I always start these off and I have notes and things that I feel like I have to kind of go over, and that's the part that feels more like a job. But it's like after I get all that out of the way, it's really fun to just have a discussion with you guys, and I read you guys' comments, and whichever topic or discussion points you guys are interested in and kind of like share in the comments, that's where I like to lead to and just basically go off of without necessarily having a big old plan and scheduled things to talk about. So that was really fun at the end of the last live. So I basically just want to take that and try and do that a little bit more in these lives. So of course, I need you guys' participation and discussion, but I want to start off with any of you guys that have watched Escaping Polygamy. What is your favorite episode? Because I've been really getting into it, and of course, I personally have my favorite episode, which isn't even my episode. My episode is season 2, episode 5, but my favorite episode that I've watched so far, and I still haven't rewatched all of them yet, I'm still going through them, but season 2, episode 7. There's a scene in there where I hug my siblings in it, and it was just so emotional and just amazing. Yeah, that one was a really good one. I enjoyed watching that one again. But I'm curious, which one is your guys' favorite? And if I haven't gotten to it yet, I will be looking forward to watching that. And I'm not going to give a review on every single episode, but I'm basically rewatching them all to kind of like remind myself of what it was like when I first left and just how crazy that environment is. Because I still talk about it a lot, but it's been so long since I've actually been there and in it and been around that type of environment that I forget a lot of the little intricate details and like the huge control that goes on with that lifestyle, and like how limited a lot of people's freedom is, and just different things like that came back to me when I watched it. And it was just really interesting. I'm not going to lie, I ended up crying on some parts of it. I ended up getting extremely angry on some parts of it. And, there's just a whole array of emotions that comes from looking back into that lifestyle and knowing that that's where I came from. That's where I still have family there. And it's like a real live thing happening in the world today. And it's just so crazy, you know? So that's what basically the next week is going to be for me. And I'm hoping to get the videos edited and out so you guys can watch them and share your thoughts on them as well. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely go and watch it. I'm watching it on Hulu. If you have just the basic Hulu subscription, then you can watch all of the seasons on there. I think they're on some other places too, but that's where I watch it. And there's a lot. I didn't realize there were so many episodes. I guess it's going to take me a while to get through them all. But yeah, I feel like it's even very like personalized for me and like a lot more emotional because I basically know every single person in it. There's a few of them when they do the FLDS escapes where like I kind of know them, but not like personally, I guess. But then every single one of the Order escapes, then I know those people personally. So it's just really, really fascinating and just reminds me of what it was like growing up as a kid there. All right, let's see what everyone's saying. Hello from England. What's up, Anthony? Hi, Eskel and everyone here from upstate New York City. Wow, that's really cool. I want to go visit New York again. That was so much fun. One of my favorite trips of all time was going to New York City with Amanda and Rachel. And we had a hotel just right across the street from the Central Park. And it was beautiful. We just rode little bikes to Times Square and to wherever we wanted to. Those electric city bikes they have. It was so fun. Anthony says, I watched your review of your episode last night. It was pretty good to be fair as I felt it showed how you have become you and not the person the cult created. I don't think we can get the full episode. Yeah, it was definitely, when I was trying to review it, I was trying not to be redundant and point out the obvious, but it was just such a shocker to see who I was. And, like, a part of me was kind of, like, felt a little bit, like, sad and upset that, like, you know, my parents and the people in that group that supposedly love me and care about me so much are okay with letting those people and those, especially those young-minded people that are like ambitious and want to learn and want to become something, and they're just okay with them becoming little robots and just having the main priority be loyalty and letting them be basically forced into submission and just become the exact person that these leaders want them to be. And it's like, how can you truly love somebody if you're okay with letting them be, you know, manipulated and molded and just controlled by this group and these leaders that just have their own, they're looking out for themselves, you know? They're not looking out for what's best for me, what's going to develop me the most, what's going to help me to grow as a person, but they want me to submit to them. They want me to think like they think and to not question, you know? Not to get out of line and stuff like that. And it's like, just looking back on it, I was like, so like it made me extremely grateful, so happy that I was able to go from that person that I was when I first left, this shy little boy that didn't have a clue what the real world was like, to where I am now, where I have so much personal experience, where I know I can be confident that I can move wherever I need to move to, and I'll be able to survive. I'll be able to make friends. I'll be able to network and connect with people and just do whatever I want to do. I can set my mind to something and actually accomplish it. And it's just, there's no way I would have been able to grow and self-develop and learn as much as I have if I would have stayed in that environment. And so it's just wild. It's just wild to think about, and to think about how I mentioned that a part of leaving the cult is getting far, far away. Because especially when I was still, you know, fully influenced by the group, we know for a fact that if we don't get far away, it would not take that much for someone that has been over us, that has been teaching us and like molding us our whole lives, to convince us to go back, to resubmit to them, to basically go back to the habits that we've had our entire life growing up. And so a big part of me wanting to go to Colorado, to be out of the state, to be far away from people that I knew had lots of influence on me, that have persuaded me throughout my, childhood and growing up, to get away, because I felt so much like a robot. I felt like I was just used to doing what I was told and didn't have much experience, like making the decisions myself. And so that's another thing that I'm really grateful for, being able to have the freedom that I have now. And I've cultivated basically a morality system and a decision-making system inside of who I am, to help me to learn and grow and to make decisions that I truly believe are going to be good for me and help me throughout my life and set me up for success, And so, yeah. Anyways, that's something I think about a lot, because it's helped me to realize how valuable that is. If you don't know what you want in life, it's going to be really hard to start developing the skills and the habits needed to even get to where you want to go. So, no way, we got another donation. Heck yeah. Let's see. Simon Farron. Thank you so much for the donation. They say, "Hi Eskel, I hope the new year is treating you well." It is. I want to be extremely ambitious and make this new year, with tons of goals and do so much stuff with it. But I feel like I always shoot a little too high, a little unrealistic, but that's okay, because I'm going to strive for it and do my best. But I'm okay with failure. Sometimes I don't always make it. Sometimes I have to reevaluate the goals that I have, and I think that's okay. I need to work on it more, but yeah, I've already been, it's only been almost a month, not even a month yet of the new year. And I'm like, I've missed some of my workouts that I scheduled and that I had a goal to do this often, that every week this year and stuff. And it's tough. It's hard. I'm not going to lie, but I'm getting there little by little, working on it, developing those habits, trying to make it a great year. Some things that have some of the highlights though, definitely is near the end of last year, I did have a personal trainer that I was able to get lots of advice from and talk to. And so I do feel like this year I've been doing a lot better with eating healthy and actually doing, fit, physical and health habits that are truly good for me, and that I have an actual, professional, someone that's really experienced in that industry, that have given me advice and talked to me about it, and ways to create habits that are actually going to last long and make a very big impact and a positive difference in my life. So that's one thing that I have really enjoyed this year. I've just taken a few things that I've wanted to work on and that I have goals for this year, and I've actually been able to talk to a professional and get really good ideas on what goals and what habits to work on that aren't going to be just, habits that people just come up with just because, but there's actually evidence behind it and actual research that shows how much this helps. So that's one thing I'm excited for this year, being able to work on those habits and just be confident that they're going to have results that come from them. So I'm excited about that. I like the Where They Are Now episodes and seeing how they've grown. Nice. Yeah, Christy, that's going to be in some of my next ones. I've watched a few. My mom's episode comes before my follow-up episode. So I just did a review on my episode, and I've gotten to where I'm watching my mom's episodes now. And so I'm thinking to do a review on hers first, and to just kind of do my reaction to it and talk about basically how that went down and everything about her episode. And then if I'm correct, I still don't know how far down my follow-up episode is from that one. So depending on what is in between that will depend on which one I do next. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about my follow-up one as well, because there was definitely a lot of changes. I think it was still only 1 year, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was. My follow-up episode was 1 year after my escape episode. So there still was a lot of changes, but not a ton. Well, there was still plenty of changes to talk about. But I guess I just feel like my personal development of who I am, like, it took a while. It definitely did. It's not going to happen in just 1 year. 18 years of growing up in a cult and being influenced by people and living certain teachings and lifestyles that happen inside of the cult. It definitely takes a while to change that mindset for sure. But yeah, I'm still excited, and it's almost, I want it to be kind of like I'll be watching my follow-up episode and then even sharing some of my even now current to this day changes and things like that. So I think it'll be a lot of fun, plenty of stuff to talk about, so I'm excited for that. And I finally figured out how to have escaping polygamy clips inside of my YouTube videos. When I first tried to do it, it basically cut out my whole video because of copyright issues. But now, as I know how to put in little clips, and as long as the clips aren't too long, then it doesn't have any issues. So that should be really cool. I'm excited for that. Melly Brown. No, not what I am aware of. I can watch them on Roku. If you could do one thing and you knew you would not fail at doing it, what would it be? Example answers: robbing a bank, a certain career, curing a disease, mastering a hobby, etc. Appreciate you. Sweet. I like that. That's a really good question. If you could do one thing and you knew you would not fail at doing it. If I could do one thing and couldn't. Well, I'm trying to think about the goals that I have right now, because a big goal of mine is to improve the content that I am creating, because my goal with YouTube is to be a content creator. I want to be able to create videos that are like interesting, engaging, satisfying to watch, and they flow well and are really good with the edits and just with the scenery, but also with the topics and the discussions, having things that are engaging and actually interesting to listen to, and will just help people to not only want to listen to it, but to get them to self-reflect and think about their own lifestyle and what might be able to help them in their life, and be motivated by the content that is being shown. So that's a big thing. So I guess if I were to relate it to that, a big thing that I'd want to be able to accomplish is just to be able to largely, I want to say perfect, but you never really get perfect at something, but I just want to drastically improve and get really good at creating content that people get motivated from, that actually makes a difference in people's lives and helps people to really think about the life that they're living and how they can live it to the fullest. So that's definitely something that would be awesome. I don't see that there could be a way to do that without failing, because I feel like you learn from your mistakes. There's so many videos that I put out that obviously could have been edited better, that could use a lot more thought out process throughout the discussions in them and stuff like that. But I think that comes with time, so just be patient with me. I feel like they'll get better. And yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of great content out there. I'm lucky that I can learn from a lot of people's examples. I love watching YouTube videos that are just similar topics, and seeing people being able to just have a discussion but make it really engaging and draw the audience in, and just talking about things that we all can relate to and have somewhat of a personal connection to. I think that's really cool. I'm curious what yours would be. Syria, I think it is. Syria Wellander. Denise says, reminder to hit that to show Eskel your support. Thank you so much, Denise. I try to remember this in all my videos. If you enjoy having these discussions, I do them every single Sunday, and I post videos throughout the week. So if you enjoy these discussions and like seeing my content, please consider subscribing and liking the video, because it does help a lot. So thank you for that. Melanie Rachel's, when she went to the class, it broke my heart that she was hurting so much doing something that should be fun. Yeah, that's another one. I have watched parts of Rachel's episode, and I want to do a review, but I just feel like it would just be so much more um, personal if I can get her to be in it. Just like with which ones was it? I guess Amanda's in a lot of them, but it would be great to do some of those with Amanda as well, on the ones that she's in. But yeah, Rachel's, I do feel a lot of emotion when I watch Rachel's, and I can kind of see where it's coming from. But I know there's a lot of like really personal things that she would be able to touch on and share, like what she was feeling in that moment and what she was going through and what went through her head and stuff like that. That I think that would be really cool. That's definitely something I want to try to do. But yeah, there's a lot just like that. I feel like it's different for everyone. Everyone has a different experience when they leave. And even though, there's probably more similarities than differences, and it's one of the reasons why we connect so well. I say to Cammy, Man, and Rachel all the time, it's like when I have discussions with them, they're always so interesting because we have like the same mind, I swear, because we come from the same background. We were raised in the same environment. And we just have that same experience of leaving that environment and just going out into the wide open world with unlimited possibilities and potential. That it's like we all have that mindset. And it's just so fun when we have these discussions and think about like what really intrigues us and what we're working on and stuff like that. It's always super fascinating. Even sometimes we talk about, just made up stuff like living on some planet or stuff that, isn't really realistic, but it still is so fascinating to us. And it's just fun to see how like they'll come up with different ideas or like fantasies that like I've thought of before and that just really intrigue me and stuff. Like it's so fun. It's very interesting. But I also wonder too about dreams, because I have some of the craziest dreams, and that's why recently I've been trying to document them more. But it's like I wonder if dreams have some relevance. I can't help but feel like when I write them down and I'm like reviewing them, it just seems like a bunch of randomness. But it's like I wonder if there's something to it. If there can be some sort of connection made from the dreams that you have, or if it, I don't know, has something to do with the life that you're living. But they can be interesting. I have some that are just, boring, just regular nonsense dreams basically. But then some that are just crazy, like they could be a movie, and I don't know how I've come up with these types of things, like how my brain thinks of all of the intricate, crazy, wild things that happen inside of my dreams that I would have never ever have thought of if it weren't for that dream somehow putting those together. It's just really weird. But I hope I'm not the only one. Comment down if you have had crazy wild dreams, or if you have like dreams that you found significance in, like found something or gotten something out of your dreams, because I like documenting my dreams and thinking about them, and they're definitely like interesting, and like I feel like obviously it's my brain that's somehow coming up with this stuff, so I think my life experiences are somehow writing them up, I guess, or creating those stories in my head or whatever. But yeah, I'm no doctor, so I don't know what it all means, but wow, so many comments, you guys. Thanks for being a part of the discussion. Let's see which one to dive into. Anthony says, "Did you realize what you're good at and your passion within your upbringing? As I think I wouldn't have a clue if I had your upbringing, as I only know what I like and can do because of the freedom I had." Yeah. So this part's interesting because growing up, it was almost like there wasn't much of a need to try and find your passion, because that doesn't help you to just follow. and just to be an obedient follower, you know? You could just do what the person above you told you to do and then just force yourself to kind of like that. That way you wouldn't have to, find out that you like something, but then they're telling you to do something else, and then you'd have to fight that, when you're so used to just being told what to do and you just follow them, then I don't feel like there's much of a need to try and like chase your passion or find out what you really enjoy doing. You just, they have this saying that you learn to like what you ought to do, I think. There's something like that. Just basically, you don't bother learning what you like. You learn to like to do what you ought to do, like what you're supposed to do, basically. Dang it, I wish I remembered the exact phrase for it. But anyways, yeah, because I feel like that's perfect. In their scenario, they want you to just not worry about what like your passion is or what your unique talents are. You just get told what to do, you do it, and then you basically convince yourself that you like it. So that they can just assign you anything, and you just have to do it and you just stick with it. And yeah, I guess it's the perfect scenario if you were trying to breed little robots to just do everything for you, But anyways, that's another thing. I keep seeing all these posts about robots and AIs being able to do all sorts of crazy things. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Are any of you guys nervous or scared about that? Or are you guys pretty excited about, having robots just do all the grunt work for us? And like, I guess humans might be able to have a lot more free time or something, I suppose, if AI can do a ton of stuff. But I don't know, there's always that fear that AI gets so smart that it's like, we might not be able to fully control them or something. But I don't know. I do think the idea of robots and AIs getting really smart and advanced, it can be like dangerous, but so can, a lot of things. I feel like you shouldn't stop technology from advancing just because of some fear. But I do think maybe you can like add extra precautions or something, or, do something to make sure that it can, you have some sort of safety for those things that might be a worry or something that could possibly backfire or something like that. I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think about that, but I doubt it's anything super soon that we'll have to worry about. I think that's going to be more of like our children's challenge, I guess. I think the next generation might have to deal a lot more with that and figure out how to handle that more. I doubt in my lifetime we're going to have just like, swarms of robots doing everything and like super advanced AIs. Even though, yeah, they are getting pretty advanced already. And so it could happen in my lifetime for sure. But who knows? Denise says, Susan, I think this year he should do repelling thing off the stratosphere. Maybe we'll have to fundraise again. I've done most of the rides on the stratosphere. The only ride I haven't done on the stratosphere is the bungee jumping one, which does seem a little bit scary, but I would totally do it. I think the only reason why I didn't is because I could either buy, when you go to the top of the stratosphere, you can either purchase a ticket that lets you get a ride on all of the rides except for the bungee jumping, or you can get a ticket that's just the bungee jumping and none of the rides. And so I wanted to try all the rides instead. Or, of course, you can pay for both, but then it's like double the price. But I went there and I tried every single ride, and it was amazing. The rocket ride is my favorite. It just rockets you up to the very tippity top of the stratosphere. Just the tallest point you can possibly get. I'm pretty sure it's the tallest thing in all of Las Vegas, and you can just see everything. It is beautiful. And I'm really glad that I'm not afraid of heights, because I love doing things like that. It's so much fun. But yeah, if someone was afraid of heights, that would probably be their worst nightmare for sure. That would be cool. And the roller coaster that goes off the building in Vegas. Yeah, the roller coaster that goes off, like, it's adrenaline, like, filling and stuff, but it's just not the same fulfilling as the rocket for some reason. The rocket was a little bit more, like, Maybe because it was longer too. You have a lot more time on the ride and get to be up really high for longer and stuff. That one was just my favorite. Have you ever looked into dream dictionaries? Sometimes I do think they have merit. Yeah. Yeah, I think like it's kind of like when like I guess your brain like is taking in all of this stuff, and especially from a young age, like everything you do in life is kind of new to you. There's all these new experiences, and our bodies and our brains are really good at just taking in information and making something of it, figuring out how to survive in these situations, or how to use this information to like learn and grow and to benefit in some way or form to help you. And it's just a survival tactic. It's something that your brain does. And so I think dreams is a way of your brain kind of like analyzing everything, or like going through your life experiences, or thinking about life scenarios and all sorts of stuff, and kind of like just playing things through to like help your mind in throughout your life to just be able to better analyze it, better go through information, and just use that, I guess. So even though we don't fully understand it, I feel like it's just some process that your brain uses to just help you. It's just something like built into us. Some people say that they don't dream, but there was this headspace where like a group of doctors like talk about the fact that everyone does dream, they said, and most people have multiple dreams every single night. It's just the fact of remembering them. Some people won't ever remember them, and so they think that they never dream, when the reality is they're dreaming every single night, they just don't remember it. And I definitely experience this sometimes. And I've noticed the more I journal, the more I write it down, the better I get at remembering my dreams. So that's something to consider if you do want to remember your dreams. Gina, I used to daydream. George Steinbrenner gave me the Yankees and I had a fabulous life. Daydreaming's a little different though, because I feel like I daydream sometimes, but it's more of like, you're just awake, fully conscious, just thinking about things and just kind of like creating these scenarios in your head. And I think that's a little bit different though, because when I'm sleeping and in my dream, it's like you can't tell your thoughts from reality. Like when I am dreaming, I really think that this is real life. Sometimes I can control it, and sometimes I'm making the decision to like, go over this way, or go into this house, or go to this place in my dreams. But sometimes I'll notice that like it's just happening. Like I don't feel like I'm the one making the decisions. My dream self is just doing these things, and I'm just kind of watching. And it's a little different, but the one thing I notice from dreams when I'm sleeping versus daydreaming is when I'm sleeping, it feels real. Like I can't tell that I'm sleeping. I don't know that it's a dream. Whereas when I daydream, I clearly know that like, it's just a thought, or it's just in my head. But at night dreams, then I don't know that it's not reality until I wake up. And it's funny too, because when you wake up, you think of all these reasons why you should have known it was a dream and why it was fake. But in that dream world, you just don't realize that. You don't think about that for some reason. I saw this one YouTube video of the guy saying that when you're sleeping, the part of your brain that separates reality from thoughts and fiction is shut off. So you just don't know. Yeah, you don't know what's real and what's not, basically, while you sleep. So it's kind of interesting. It's cool and fascinating. So I like it. I think at least you can take away from your dreams just a cool, fun experience, like watching a movie, I think it's really fun. But Casey Joyce, welcome. Nice. We're going to end up like humans on Wall-E. I hope not. Wall-E was a cool idea, but I don't like that the humans are just so zoned into their screens, and they just, they're not physically active. They don't do a lot of like outdoor hiking and nature and like things that I really enjoy to do. But yeah, I guess if robots start doing everything for us, we definitely might become a lot more lazy. That's for sure. Melissa, that is because learn to love to do the things you ought to do, and bloom where you are planted are both order sayings. I have a robotic hover, saves my time. Okay, granted, I have one on each floor of a 3 floors in a townhouse. I know people think I am lazy, but hey, it's cool. A robotic hover. So that's probably one of those vacuums that are robotic and just goes around and vacuums for you, huh? I think the idea of that is really cool because that does save you a lot of time. And vacuuming's a very just mundane thing. I don't think you're going to learn a whole lot from vacuuming. But, I mean, it is a good habit to stay clean and keep your stuff nice for sure. But hey, Eskel and everyone else. What's up, Anthony? Wow, I failed so much at catching the lives today. Hey, what's up, Flicker Fade? I'm glad you made it. Yeah, this one's not going to be a super long live because next week we're going to be having lots of snacks, lots of popcorn. Just be ready to really sit down and discuss and just enjoy a long time on my lives, okay? Anthony says, Flicker Fade, hi. Hope you had a good week. Glad you're here again this week. You're normally one of the first ones. Haha. Yeah, Flicker Fade usually is one of the first ones. Maybe he's been busy today. I missed out on some of Amanda's live. I was there when she first went live and for up to like the majority of it, but then near the end, then I got distracted and I was trying to message her on her phone, and then that probably just distracted her too, so it wasn't the best idea. I should have just been saying things in the comments, but my husband doesn't remember his dreams at all, Melanie. Huh, yeah. Some people definitely go through that. I do wonder though, because according to the Headspace episode, basically what you would need to do is the moment you wake up, like that very same second you wake up, you have to try to recall the dream and try to keep it in your memory. Because if you wake up and super quickly need to hurry and do something, then you forget it so fast. But if right when you wake up, you'll think about it and ponder about it and even journal it and write it down, then your muscle memory or whatever just gets better at recalling it. Do they have a Shark Tank in Vegas? You might like animal encounters. I do not know. Hey, Kevin, who are you going for the game tonight? Ooh, who's playing tonight? I did not realize there was a game. My family is not the most into sports, I guess you could say. But I like watching them sometimes. Basketball can be super intense at times. So, especially when it's a really big, epic game, I do enjoy watching those. They can be super intense. It's weird when you die in your dream, but you kind of know you still exist, and then you wake up. I kind of hope actual death is like that. Oh, that's a good point, Flicker Fade. Yeah. But the thing is, I've never had a dream where I died and then was still dreaming. Every time I die in my dream, I wake up. So, I mean, maybe that's just me, but I feel like, you know, a way of waking up is dying in a dream. So it's like, what if in real life, that's also how you wake up into the afterlife or whatever, you know? So, 49ers all the way, Kevin says. Nice. Flicker Fade, I had a near-death experience. They brought me back and saw the white light, and it felt weird like a dream, but not really. More like everything was just peaceful. Okay. You know, that actually made me think of something, though, Flicker Fade, because I guess I have had dreams where something happened to me and I should have died, but I wasn't dead, so I was still in the dream. Like, there was one time where my entire body got cut in half, and literally, like, I could see my legs on the other side of the floor, but my upper body was still alive in the dream, and so I was still alive, and so I was able to crawl around with my hands in the dream, and so the dream continued. So that has happened in my dreams. That's kind of weird to think, because I'm sure in real life I would have been dead, but in my dream I wasn't. But yeah, but like any time that, like, you know, I fall off of a cliff, or like the last dream I was driving this truck super fast, and I just slammed into this wall and it just crushed everything, and I died, and I woke up from that. So yeah, I guess it just depends on how the death, what the death is in the dream, I suppose. I'm glad you're still with us, Melanie Brown. Is next week when we are talking about the following? Yes, let's go with yes. Because I'm trying to get through all of the escaping polygamy reaction videos this week, and then yeah, next week we're gonna be talking a lot about the following. So, basically, I don't know. Whatever one intrigues you. I know the following is a lot harder to watch. So Escaping Polygamy, if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. There's other places where you can watch it where you don't have to actually pay for it. I mean, you need the subscription, but you don't have to pay any more. The following, though, it's really annoying because even if you have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, you still have to pay an additional to watch it. So it's kind of dumb. But I'm going to be reviewing it next week. So hopefully, like, if you want to be a part of the discussions and talk about it and like know a little bit about the theme and all that, then definitely go and watch it and we'll discuss it next week. Or if you don't want to pay for it, don't worry about it. I'll be giving a review and talking about it and sharing, basically comparing a lot of the things that are similar between the following, the group that follows the Prophet guy in that video, and the Order, the Kingston group. So that should be a lot of fun. I missed Amanda's live. Hope she had a good one. Yeah, it was really good. I think she had like an energy drink or something at the beginning of hers. And so that made her a lot more like hyped and a little bit jittery, which I found kind of funny. But Cowboys versus the 49ers. Okay. So Cowboys are probably what? Texas? And the 49ers, where are they from? 49ers. Are they like California or something? I should really do my research about the games, huh? Let's see. Yeah, once I die in a dream, I always wake up. Okay, so that's the same for you, Flicker Fade. Yeah, that's so interesting, huh? Come on, Cowboys. I've been to Dallas, so on this one, I have to say them. Flinker Mary says, I end up crying in my dreams. Aw, I hate when they're sad dreams, but it's also, it's a double-edged sword. Or like a silver lining kind of, because there's times where I'm in a dream and I'm like, life is horrible. I'm like, just nothing's going right. Everything seems like it's going wrong. I'm living the worst life ever. And then I wake up and I'm like, woo, thank goodness that was my real life, And then on the other end, though, I'll have dreams where I'm a millionaire driving a Ferrari and just have the nicest things and everything's going great. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, man, I wish I really had that stuff. So it's always, yeah, it's interesting. But I wonder what is, well, what's worse is always the bad dreams, man. When I have a dream where just life is the worst and it's like nothing's going right and I wake up, it's just such a good feeling. But, yeah. Damn, Eskel, we gotta talk about how violent your dreams are. Are they really that violent? I mean, I think the reason why dreams are so interesting is there is no filter. And it bases, as far as I know, it bases everything off of what you understand about real life. So it's like, not only the things that are like realistic though, like it'll take things that you see in sci-fi movies, and then you'll notice similar things like that in your dreams. And so it's just your mind taking everything and making something of it. And I think it's so cool. And it's like, yeah, it's definitely sometimes going to be rated R because that's real life. You see crazy things in real life, especially in movies. You see lots of blood. You sometimes see people get cut in half or something. And so you're going to see that in your dreams a lot of the times. So it's just fascinating to me. I think that's so interesting. I was just in Salt Lake City and thinking of you and Amanda. Any news on the Vanguard School? Yeah, there's been a lot of changes. They've had to hire a lot of people that are on like an actual public school district board. So now they have a lot more employees that are not order members. So that's been the last update. I do know they're still going through the lawsuit and like figuring out if they have to pay back money or if it can actually be justified as public or not. But yeah, there are being some changes done with the school. So I think that's really good. I just don't want to hear about them boys for all eternity if they win. I just have constant dreams of being chased and having to hide. Feel free to analyze that. Oh boy, Denise. If it's First of all, if it was the same dream every night, I would get so frustrated, you know? Cuz it's like I do have repetitive dreams for sure, but it's like, a few times a year, and I'll be like, I know I've had this dream before, and like I'll recognize certain things from it. But even then, a lot of the times there'll be something changed, like sometimes I'll have a dream and it will start out the same way as another dream that I've had, but then it takes a completely different path or something happens in it that didn't happen before. So it's like it almost feels a little more like deja vu rather than repetitive and over again. I've never felt like I've had this just the same dream on repeat. And so that would be really interesting, but I have had times, and I do feel like this is definitely related to like when I am like super stressed and nervous. I'll have a lot more of those sad dreams where just nothing's going right, and like I lose all my money in doing something, or like something happens and I just get really screwed over, and like I have all those really horrible dreams. And I definitely do notice a correlation to when I'm having really bad days or I'm super sad, then I'll have more of those scary or like, negative dreams. Then, and that'll just happen more often when I have times like that in my life. So that's why I do feel like there definitely is somewhat of a correlation, but I just don't fully know what all of that correlation is. Flicker Fade says, how about some dreams where you just get licked by puppies? I mean, I definitely have lots of animals in my dreams a lot of the times. I'm sure I've had one where a puppy licked me. There's one, though, when I think of animals in my dreams, there's one, and this one has been like, I've seen these animals multiple times throughout my dreams, and they're not real, but like, it started off with when I was really young. I had this dream where it was raining dinosaurs, right? And not just normal dinosaurs. They looked like little baby dinosaurs if they were like T-Rexes, but really small. And I remember in the dream when I was really small, it was just raining those. And that's something that happened in a dream a long time ago. And then every once in a while I have dreams where I'll see those animals. And the most recent one, then I saw those same little tiny dinosaur animals, and they were like biting me, and so I was stomping on them and had to like smash them all. And so it's like I'll have reoccurring things like that, but things are like a lot of things are different. It's a different experience, even though some aspects are the same. So I thought that one was kind of interesting. It is football season over there. It is football season. I'm going to look into the morning sports channel. Okay. I thought it was basketball season. Is basketball season over already? It's not even March. March Madness has to come up soon. Unless you're talking about soccer football. I don't remember when that season is, but I also don't feel like it's that season yet either. Melanie says it's the playoffs. Okay. No, football is not over. Got the championship game next week, and then Summer Sunday. San Francisco. Yes, Cal. The San Francisco 49ers. Okay, and then Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, okay. That sounds right. Anyone else dreams keep coming true? No way. Smitty, you have your dreams come true? That could be really valuable. I'll have things like, I guess you could see it as a dream coming true, but it'll just be more like I'll have a dream that I see this like golden Ford Mustang or something, and then a few days later I see a golden Ford Mustang, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's kind of cool, but that could also be coincidence, or because I dreamed of a golden Ford Mustang, I was looking, trying to, keep my eye out for a Ford Mustang because that was in the back of my mind or something like that, So I've never had a dream that it's like, like it like 100% happens like the dream, and it's like feels like a revelation, or like you're seeing into the future or stuff like that. I have not had a dream like that. Have you always dreamed? And if so, when you was younger, did you ever dream about escaping before you escaped? And how was that if that happened to you? I always remember dreaming as a kid, but there's very few dreams that I still remember to this day. Because I have a bad memory. Like, everyone knows that. But it's like dreams are even harder to remember, more so than just, regular life experiences. Even when I just think of my life, the youngest I can recall a memory, and it's still decently vivid, and I know that like this really happened because I remember it from my own eyes, is like 6 and 7 years old. So like decently old. Like, that's still a little kid, but like I don't remember being 5 or 4, a little baby. I can recall, pictures of me being that young and videos and stuff, but like I don't actually have memories from that. The youngest I can recall memories from is 6 or 7 years old. And it's like they're still like they're very few and not super like vivid and detailed. And so it's like, I don't know, I feel like the older you get, the harder it is to remember way back then. But self-reflection definitely helps. I oftentimes recall like really good memories, and sometimes really bad memories also, ingrained into my memory and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's interesting. And I've talked to people that personally said they can remember being 2 years old and like experiencing things that they did as young as 2 years old. And it's like, to me, that just seems crazy. That's so young. I've had some come true. The weirdest dreams are pregnancy dreams. Oh man. That would be wild. I've never had a pregnancy dream, probably because I'm a guy, but that makes me think of like, I don't know why this relates, but it made me think of how I'll have dreams of my teeth falling out. And those, I hate those dreams, because it's like in the dream they're just falling out and there's like nothing you could do about it, and it's just freaking me out, and it's just craziness. I don't like it at all. But yeah, I definitely have dreams like that, and it's really weird. But sometimes I can correlate it to like after a dentist visit, or when I've had a cavity filled or something, then I'll have a dream of my teeth falling out. And so sometimes I can tell that it's related to something that's happened, but sometimes it'll just be random. I'll just randomly have a dream when my teeth are falling out of my mouth, and it's the worst ever. I don't know why. Eskel, how did Amanda react to having a longer live last Sunday than her? She thought it was funny. She didn't even go and check, though. She didn't realize how long her live was. But yeah, it's not like it's a competition, though. I even asked her like if she wanted to try to go for super long or anything like that, and we may plan something in the future, because a sneak peek to a future live. YouTube now has this feature where you can combine lives. You can do we can have Amanda and me both going live in the same video at the same time. So we're going to be testing that on our Patreons this week. And we were going to try to do it next week, but because I'm going to go for super long, we're most likely going to push it out to 2 or 3 weeks out. We're going to have a combined live. It's going to be really cool. I'm super excited for that. So even though she's going to be, out of state, and we'll be super far away from each other, we'll be able to do our lives together. I think that's going to be super fun. It's just this cool new feature that YouTube has. So that's something you guys can look forward to. Let's see. Also, sometimes I have dreams of all my teeth falling out all at once. Oh, did you already say that, Flicker Fade? Huh. Sorry, I guess I stole that. Yeah, I actually heard there was a video that said that that's a very common thing. A lot of people will have dreams of their teeth falling out for some reason. And I don't know why. Oops. I never heard of that until Inside Out. Wow, so Melanie hasn't, I guess. So some people don't. I had a dream where I was 6'4". That's how I knew it was a dream. Good one, Todd. That's pretty funny. So proud of all you guys who left. You are all in my thoughts and prayers. There is entire community out there who have left high demand religions and cults. Yep. And it's so nice to be able to have a community of people to be able to discuss with and like learn with and just have that support from, Oh, wow. It sounds like it's a common dream. I wonder what it means. I know. Me too. Ugh, the tooth one freaks me out. Yeah, exactly. Don't watch scary movies anymore. Well, I like watching scary movies, but I try to limit it to just Halloween. But, I feel like there's something about, the extreme emotion. And I don't know. You guys should share your thoughts on this too, because I don't know what it all boils down to, but I live for and I crave and I just want so badly to experience extreme emotion in small increments for sure, but at certain times, because it just feels so like special. I don't know what it is, but to watch a really creepy and scary movie and then go to a haunted house immediately after and just scare the crap out of myself is just so fun to do, a couple times a year. Just not very often, but just a little bit, just to let myself get so dang scared that it's like kind of like messes with my head a little bit. And then though, I have to take a break from it for sure. But it's also the same way. Sometimes I like to just get so dang sad. And like I've talked about this before. I hate when I just like, have a whole day where I'm just so sad and this and that and like just can't seem to get myself upbeat and excited for stuff. So what I actually do, and I feel like I even enjoy this to a little degree, is I give myself an hour when I know that I'm like having a down day or going through a hard time. I let myself take an hour and just I actually try, like put an effort to make myself as sad as can be. I listen to sad music, I'll watch a sad show, I'll like let myself dwell and think about of all the most depressing and sad things ever. And it's like, I don't know why, I get some sort of the satisfaction from just like letting myself like fully embrace the emotion and just like don't hold anything back, just let it all go, And then once that time is up, then I try to push past it and focus on more positive things, listen to more positive music, do things, get active, do stuff so I don't dwell on it for super long or let it like drag out. But I just feel like I can't help but feel like there's a need for letting that emotion being felt and embracing it and just like having it, having that emotion fully and then moving past it. Because I feel like the times where I don't, then it's just more on my mind. I can't seem to get over it. It just will last longer and drag out longer and stuff like that. But it's like I do feel like I get something out of it when I just let myself feel that emotion fully. And I think that's a little bit with fear too. That's why I love heights. I love dopamine like rushes and stuff like that, because and when you just have a bunch of that fear or emotion or whatever all at once, it just feels good temporarily, not for super long, of course. But I just feel like there's a reason why we have those, why our body like has such array of emotions and those feelings. So I personally really like to do that, but I don't know. I'm sure it's different for everybody. Avoid going to sleep till sunrise, but that turned into a horrible schedule. Why would you go to sleep at sunrise? That seems the opposite. Smitty, you got to explain that. Unless you work the night shift, I guess. And that's hard. That's when you need blackout curtains. Otherwise, your sleep just gets whacked. I had to quit playing Call of Duty for a while because I was dreaming I was in the game. Nice. Have a great evening, Eskel, and everyone in the chat. Thanks, Simone. No, it not NBA is going. No, it not NBA is going. Hey, hi, hello. Melanie, not that game, but definitely have that happen before. Super Bowl Sunday still to come. NBA, NFL, both interlap. Oh yeah, NBA and NFL. Okay, so they interlap. Nice, nice. I was told of you dream of dirty water, it means illness. Really? Yeah, I do know there's a lot of people that'll find different correlations with different things in dreams, and I'm sure there's, a lot of research that has been done. Thank you. I'm working through getting my sleep back to normal, but it's getting to the point where I have nighttime anxiety. Uh-oh, that's no good. Anyone else have dreams where they have superpowers and everything is awesome and cool, but when you really need the superpowers, they just explicitly stop working? Huh, interesting. Like I was teleporting everywhere, but now that I have to get away from a bomb, it just won't work. Really? That sounds more like a nightmare. That's interesting. The closest dream I can relate that to is I did have this dream where I was like like really strong. Not like I didn't feel like it was like a superpower strong, but like I was in some sort of a fight club and I was able to fight people like super well and it was great. But then for some reason when I was like not in the ring anymore, but I was just like doing something else in the dream and there was this guy like I don't know, like robbing the place or something. For some reason, I needed to fight them, and I like went to go punch them, and I just couldn't. Like my arms just didn't work. I couldn't control my ability to fight the person for some reason. So I do remember that dream being like, you know, having that helpless type of feeling and just like not working, you know, not being in control. So I feel like that might be a little bit similar, but I've never specifically had that because I've had dreams where I've had superpowers and it was awesome and I've just had the superpowers until I woke up. But that is interesting though. I wonder what that means, Flicker Fade. I remember a nightmare I had when I was 3. Stupid clown man had that nightmare until I was an adult. Yeah, I think it is interesting that so many kids have clown fears about clowns. I wonder what that originates from. Well, I have the thing where when you really, really want to yell or say something but suddenly can't, and if I try hard, I just end up mumbling, swearing out loud, says my husband. Huh, that's interesting. I have been told multiple times that I will talk in my sleep sometimes, and I've had dreams where, like I said, sometimes I can control my dreams more than others, but there are times where, like, for some reason it won't let me say something that I want to say, and so when I just try really hard and just basically force it out, then I will wake up. So I've had times like that. But it's funny, though, because I don't know that it's a dream, because, like, for example, if I knew it was a dream, then I could just try really hard to talk or say something, and then I know I would wake myself up. But it's like sometimes I'll be in a dream, and I can control what I'm saying. I can say whatever I want. I can like fully control what I'm doing. And so I don't know that it's a dream at all. And then there's other times where I know I'm not fully in control and like I'm just kind of like watching things happen. But so like I kind of know that it's a dream, but like I said, I think that part of the brain is just turned off where it's like it doesn't fully recognize or know that it's a dream, I guess, you know. So it is really interesting. Haha, Eskel is going to be surprised when he reads a few comments from now. Okay. Oh God, we are all plagued by the tooth dream. Similar to you, I can't remember anything properly before the age of 4. However, I don't know if that's because I have forced my brain not to remember to protect my mind and emotions. For me, it definitely stops working once I know I'm actually dreaming. I'm all, yes, now I can control everything, but then nothing works. My favorite dreams are the ones where I'm in control. Because the ones where I'm not are still fascinating and fun, but like it's more like a movie. But if the ones where I can control, then it's like, you know, it almost always leads to me driving a nice car or like, you know, jumping off this huge waterfall or just, you know, something that I just think is cool because that I'm in control. So I always just end up looking for something like that. Or something that's flying an airplane or something like that. I keep seeing your name everywhere. How are you? Do you live in the U.S.? Simone, no, Vancouver Island. But on Amanda's recent live, we figured out many of us are in similar online worlds. Nice, nice. Smitty, it's funny because, like, how does one use superpowers? Just concentrate on it really hard? So if it stops working, do you just concentrate harder? Or does concentrating harder make it work less? Yeah, I mean, we don't have superpowers, so I don't know. In my dreams, I feel like it's more of like I just think of it happening and it happens, you know? Like when I have dreams where I'm flying, I don't have to like flex a muscle and fly. I just think about, you know, levitation and I levitate in my dream, you know, and I just start flying. I don't know. That's how it is for me anyways. But I wonder, because I mean your brain is a muscle, so I wonder if you're like essentially working out when you're having a dream, because it's, thinking of all these elaborate things. Because I have seen videos and people talk about how your brain is actually more active while you're sleeping than when you're awake. So I thought that was kind of odd. Let's see. Melanie, what's up? Neither teams can get. LOL, it's because I was told that dreams don't have a meaning anymore once sunrise hits. Since my dad dreams kept coming true, I'd avoid sleeping till sunrise, just so if I did have a bad dream, it wouldn't happen. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So something about your dreams being more impactful made you want to only sleep during sunrise, I guess? That's kind of interesting. Does anyone know why we dream about our teeth falling out? That happens to me a few times. Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird, though. Yolanda, I am going to look into this. Yeah, we gotta figure this out, you guys. My sisters forced me to watch it, and they went outside and pounded the window. It made me terrified of clowns for a long time. Yeah, that can be scary. I remember my siblings once, we were watching some scary movie, and it was like, I think it was like The Conjuring or something, and one of the kids went down into the basement and pulled the breaker, like shut off all the lights in the house in the middle of the movie. I remember being so dang scared. It was terrifying. But as scary as that was, I'm sure I've shared this around one of my Halloween videos, but the scariest movie I have ever seen was Silent Hill. And it's because we were trying to set the mood. So we had gone to a haunted house that day, and then we came home and shut off all the lights. And it was for I think it was on Halloween Day or something, because nobody was home. Like the majority of my family was at some Halloween party or something. And so me and Amanda, and I think Rachel was there too. I can't remember, but we shut off all the lights inside the house, and we went down into the basement, and we just had, I think it was 2 or 3 candles were lit in the basement on the concrete floor, and we brought the TV down there just on the floor, and we watched Silent Hill, and it was so scary. Like, to this day, I was just like, I think about it, and that's just the scariest moment I think I've ever had. And when the movie was over, we shut off the TV, and I went into my room because it was midnight, and I just laid in my bed, just looking at things, just feeling super paranoid and scared out of my mind, and constantly thinking of what could be out in those shadows, there's somebody behind the door, there's somebody hiding in my closet, there's all these things that I just basically, just being super paranoid. It was crazy. But that was an experience that, looking back on it, it's funny, and I don't mind that I went through it, I guess. But yeah, in the moment, I hated it. It was the worst thing ever. Sorry, you all. I'm going to go eat a crush out this team so they win. 49ers. Okay, go 49ers. Yolanda. What part, Yolanda? Santa Cruz. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's the less you think about what you're doing when you're flying in your dream, the more you can fly. But if you start concentrating really hard on being able to fly, you can't fly. Okay, yeah. And I think that's also along the lines of just the more you try to force something, when I try really hard to say something, then that wakes me up from my dreams for sure. Melanie, are you from California? Yolanda, how far is the How far is the stadium from the Levi's Stadium? No, Yolanda, Arizona, but I have family in Cali. Oh, that's cool. Do you mean stadium? The 49ers, sweet. Whoa, I caught up on the comments. Wow, dang, that hasn't happened in a long time. Maybe I need to go live chat. I was in top chat that whole time. Sorry, guys. That always screws things up. You know what else I was thinking about today, though? The fact that, because I'm constantly thinking about, okay, what are the things that I don't like in my life that I want to change? What are the things that I do like in my life and whatnot? And I was just, pondering, I guess daydreaming in a way, about how being a kid was just like so silly that we didn't like school in a sense. And I know everyone probably goes through this, but it's like school as a kid, I think it's just the common thing to not like it, like for some reason there's just bad connotations with school. And maybe I don't speak for everyone, but I just feel like in general, a lot of kids don't like school. And now as an adult looking back though, it's like that was the greatest job ever. Back, like you have no bills to worry about, nothing that should really be like overly stressing you. You get every holiday off. You only have to go to school or your equivalent of work for, what is it? Usually from 8 a.m. till 3 or something. So it's like, yeah, that seems really nice. That would be the most ideal hours for a job, the best, times off for a job, a whole summer vacation from your job, basically. It's like, yeah, it's just funny how, like, I guess you'll find things wrong with whatever it is that you live in, and like I don't know, it just made me think of like you gotta appreciate what you have a little bit more for sure. And so how do you tell a kid that? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I've been told that as a kid, like you got nothing to worry about, like school's not that bad. And it's like as a kid you just, oh, it sucks. I don't know why, but it's like I guess self-reflection though hopefully will help me to realize like even though going to college might be hard, having to work a lot is hard and stuff like that, but it's like really, I don't know, we have it really good in our day and age. It's like so nice to have all of the opportunities that are given to us. I think that's super nice. It's something I just try to be grateful for a lot. But yeah, I can't help but laugh when I think back to just everyone's idea of school and just some of the complaints that kids will have and stuff. And I don't know, it's just interesting. But it is true though that sometimes we are giving them the wrong type of education or like, learning experience. Because I still can't get over the fact that I think it's so funny that at 17 years old, pretty much almost an adult, you're still in high school, at least the general population is in high school, where you still have to literally ask permission to go and use the restroom. And then, just a year after that, then it's college and they're asking you what you want to do for the rest of your life. It's like from one extreme to the other. Whereas I don't know, I feel like there should be more of a way to implement creativity and, making their own decisions and I don't know, more type of hands-on experience, I guess, life experience and things like that. Just like the fact that they don't teach taxes in school. It's like, okay, that's a major thing everyone's going to have to do in their life, but they don't teach it in school. Like, okay, that's odd. Huh. But I guess that's just life. But also, like, I saw this post the other day that's like, we have not updated the school system in so long. Like the style that students are being taught has been the same for like decades, for so long, that it definitely could use some improvements. That's for sure. But I don't know. Anyways, just something interesting to think about. Denise Pace, I really hate it. It probably only lasts for moments, but it feels like forever. Ooh, what are you guys talking about? Ever get sleep paralysis, Eskel, where you are awake but can't move yet? No, I've actually tried to experience that because Amanda was like learning this thing about how, what was it? There's a certain part of your REM sleep or something that, yeah, if you get woken up in it, you won't be able to move because your mind is still like processing something. So I've tried to experience that, but I have not yet. But I've heard of a lot of people experiencing that, and it's a very real thing for sure. But Danielle asks, what states other than Utah are order members in? Well, there's some in Idaho, There's some in Pennsylvania and there's some in California. Those are the only ones I know of. But, the groups in California and Pennsylvania are so small. I think it's literally like 3 families. So an equivalent of like maybe 30 people or something like that. So 99% of them are here in Utah, Idaho, like really close to Salt Lake City area. My friend who is not well mentally had sleep paralysis happen last week. Oh, wow. Overall, my dad was born in San Jose. I have family in Vilisa, LA, San Diego, San Francisco. Oh, wow. All over the place. I've had sleep paralysis when I have nightmares. Oh, no. I have a brother who lives in California. Denise, I really hate it. Oh, yeah, I already read that one. I have a huge family. LOL. Dang Mormons. Melanie, did yours have the demons in the room or sitting on your chest thing? Whoa, that sounds scary. I got bullied in school. Oh, I'm sorry, Flinker Mary. I had it once. A serial killer was stabbing me. I woke up and had a weird back pain and couldn't move. Yikes. Yeah, they should really teach finances in high school. Oh, yeah. Agreed. College is nice. Public school was a nightmare. I teach taxes to my high school students. Nice. That's awesome. High school is rough. Yeah. Sounds like a lot of rough experiences for a lot of us in high school. I think my friend's is fueled by her BPD being unchecked currently. Huh. Melanie says that's not good. I agree. Flinker Mary Vlogs, I'm sorry. Like, thanks for teaching me how to sew a little pillow of a pig in home economics, but you really should have taught me about banking, building credit, and budgeting. That is so true. Denise Pace, are there equal or as many cults in Canada? Yeah, what are the cults in other countries like, man? I wonder how crazy some of them get. Like, oh, let's see. Mine was a turtle pillow. We didn't get home ec. We did business classes instead. Oh, that's interesting. Denise and Melanie, you two have a great night, sleep, and a good week. See you next, live, I think they meant. See you, Kevin. Have a good one. Simon, yes, in BC, we are the Utah of Canada. No way, really? That's interesting. I made a skateboard pillow. I wonder what that would look like. Working at a bank, I used to have adults that could not balance a checkbook. Oh, wow. You will be surprised over here in the UK how many young people ain't got a clue of bills and expenses or even cooking. Oh, man. I can see that. Just imagine. Let's talk about that for a second. What do you guys think the next generation is going to be like? I know, so it's tough to have this discussion with, people from other countries, but I think that that's the best way to get other perspectives on things, because here in America there's this huge topic of Gen Zers and how it's they of course are learning the tech stuff, I guess, of the world. They're the best to navigate tech stuff and to know a lot of the new types of technology that's coming out, the new updates and cool stuff like that, but they're not very good at understanding economics or knowing how the actual social world works and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm saying that correct, but it's basically, all the young people of this new generation are almost becoming hyper focused on a specific type of skill, which a lot of people are saying that that's a dangerous and scary thing, because what's going to happen if the majority of everybody is tech people or computer people or even I don't know exactly what the classification is, but I guess in the techie field, and then there's hardly anyone that's doctors or like in the medical field or electricians or like all of these really important fields that society needs to be able to thrive as a society. I think it can even like it correlates a little bit with how Elon Musk says there's a big issue with how here in America we're having so many old people. Like the population of old people is becoming so much more than the population of young people that we're going to run into the issue of how are we going to take care of all these old people. And so I think those are two different ideas, but it's like kind of, I feel like they correlate a little bit with just how different the new generation is versus the old generation. And so I kind of wonder how big of an effect that's going to be in especially like future jobs and like the economy and stuff like that. I think that's going to be very interesting. California has its share of cults. BC has FLDS. Really? I did not know that. The former bishop of FLDS, Blackmore, and his family, 12 tribes. The family, the Children of God, Mennonite, Doukhobor, and more. Wow. That's interesting, Denise. Dang. Todd 181, I have to admit that my approach to that is often close enough. JW, and all the other mainstream too. My friend was born JW and had to leave. Oh, do you mean Generation Alpha, the iPad babies? Is that what they're being called? iPad babies? Huh. Uber Eats, Deliveroo, and many takeaways delivery are available. Supermarkets delivery since COVID is well easier to be fair. I actually don't think I have used actual cash in 3 to 4 years. You haven't used cash in that long? I guess that is the way of the future. I'm sure in just, what would you say? Like, 10, 20 more years? You probably would hardly ever use cash, right? Everything's going electronic, man. Denise Pace, I've heard of everyone you've mentioned except for Doukhobor. Yeah, I have not heard of Doukhobor as well. That sounds interesting. Japan is wrestling with the old people, young people thing right now. Oh yeah, I'd imagine Japan would definitely. Well, Japan basically has this huge population, so a lot of the times they run into like the issues a little bit before we might because of our smaller population. So I wonder though, because like I guess the idea would be we learn from how they handle it and try to implement it, but Japan's a lot different than here in the U.S. So I don't know if the same things can work out because I don't know. From what I understand, Japan is a lot more communist, right? And they're a lot more like controlling, I guess you would say. They're very strict and stuff like that. Whereas America is not. So, is that what it's called? Communist. I might be using the wrong word there, but it's super annoying when I have to pay for something in cash. I hate it. I don't mind paying in dollar bills too much, but when I have to deal with the coins, it's like, come on. Just make sure everything rounds to $1. Like pennies. Pennies are not worth anything anymore. And it's still going down, Inflation is happening and pennies should basically be non-existent anymore. It's crazy. They are so annoying. That sounds pretty funny. Todd. Nice. Checks still exist? Like, what? No way. Oh, geez, God, what do you even say to that? Oh, man. Lisa, you used to live in Japan? That's really cool. I love getting Asian, like, treats and stuff. That's one. I have that big old package of Asian snacks and treats and stuff like that. So I'm excited to do a little video on those. Those look really yummy. It's amazing they're not communist. Okay, so maybe I had it wrong. Well, wait. Yeah, you're right. Because I do need to do my research on it. I could be mixing up, what is it? Because I know China has a lot more like controlled environment, and then of course I think it's North Korea that is like super controlling as well, and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know the proper terminology. I need to look into that because I know that there's a term for when the government kind of controls all the aspects of the civilians' lives and stuff like that. Actually, Flicker Fade wants to tell everyone this. Actually, you guys, pennies are worth 1 cent. That is true. That is true. But what can you buy with a penny? Is there a single thing on this planet that is still like exchanged and purchased with just a penny? Because I don't think so. Sure, you can collect thousands upon thousands of pennies and go buy yourself a Big Mac or buy yourself a meal or something with it. But I don't think a single individual penny on its own could get you anything, I think. But Tasha says you're thinking of China. Yeah, that's probably what it was. Anthony retracted his message? What'd you say, Anthony? You say controlling. I say love and caring. I use kidding. That's just my trauma talking. Oh, man. Or a $1 bill or $2 bills. Nice. I dress up with Big Cat fans. Just kidding. Not I use. Can I have a cashier's check for $10K? Me. You don't have $10K in your account, customer. But you said they were free. Oh my gosh. See, that's so sad. People don't understand. Amy says North Korea is communist. Okay. That sounds right. I see. No, penny is more than a cent, as $1 is about 83p right now. Well, that's what it says over here. Penny is useless. I hate humans even more now. Thank you, Todd. In North Korea, the reason why religion is illegal is because they don't want you to praise any god at all, because the supreme leader wants you to view him as Jesus Christ. Yeah, I've heard about that. That's wild. When I was a kid, we had a candy store in town with penny candies. Interesting. Sorry, let's go back on that thing about North Korea. That's why I keep on saying, and maybe I think I probably will need to end on this, because yeah, we're at an hour and a half. But so many times I get taken aback when reality just hits me, and it's like, we live in a world that is like, it has so much freedom. There's so many like details and intricate things that can happen in this life, and if you just look at history, you can just see how crazy it can be. And it's because we are given this freedom. We're given the ability to take these things that we are experiencing in life and to be able to analyze them and create whatever we want out of it. Like I said, the options and opportunities are limitless. And sometimes that's a bad thing. Sometimes we create, cults. We create this control environment where we like put our dominance on other people and we try to like bully other people, and like harsh things may come out of all this freedom that we have. But that like, it is sad, and that's something that we want to try to avoid. But it's also like we are in places where we are able to at least have help to not let people take that control from us. I don't know, at least I don't know the best way to say it, but like the majority of the world like sees and values that free agency and that ability to like not take control of people, but let people use their creativity to like do positive and good things in the world. And I love that, and I'm so grateful for that. And I think that's, if there's one thing that we should focus on and try to remember, it's that we get these good opportunities in life, that we get the chance to use our freedom and our skills and our talents for good things. And I just love that. I think that's awesome, and I'm grateful for it. And yeah, I just, every time I hear about how other countries or just, other cults or other groups or civilizations, groups of people restrict that and try to just control everything, and don't, they just limit people and limit growth. And I think that's so sad. And I don't know why, but it just seems like with mankind and with how big the world's population is, I guess, maybe, then seems like it's always there. There's always some people that, that can't sympathize for other people, or that just want to be in control. And it's just kind of crazy. But at least we can be grateful that we get to, not be a part of it, and can have the freedom to run away from it and make our own destiny and create our own way of living. And it's just crazy, man. It is wild. I had this conversation with someone once too that was like, he was trying to defend it in a way, but like not necessarily say that cults are a good thing, but he was kind of trying to say that like they're necessary, and like, some people, they just want to be told what is right and what is wrong. They don't really want to think for themselves, and like, I guess, I don't know. He was just basically saying that they're there for a reason, and it's just weird. But at least, like, I guess if they have to be there, and it seems like in our world they have to be there, but at least I would hope that whoever is in them is actually choosing to be there. They're not just there because they feel like they don't got any other options, or they feel forced into it. But at least I would hope that people have the free agency and are making their own conscious decision to be where they're at. Because I feel like with anything in life, if you're not making the conscious decision, even with, like, I always compare things to drugs, and I just feel like that's just something I compare it to a lot. But if you're not making the conscious decision to be taking that substance, to be drinking that drink, or to be doing whatever it is that you're doing, then you need to get help. You need to make changes in your life. And I just hate when, there's substances, or there's people, there's civilizations, or just anything that forces people or takes control of people. When it's like, we live in such a beautiful world full of amazing opportunities that just don't let that go to waste, There's so much that you can do with it. Really ponder and think about your life choices and what you want to accomplish, and you can do it. I guarantee it. And it's amazing. So I think that's awesome. I'll read the last couple comments and then we'll probably call it a day. But thank you, and especially to all of you guys who have stuck it out to the end, who made it to the end of this live. Let's give a shout out to Denise for always being here. Jenna's still here. We got Anthony commenting, Melanie, Todd, Daniel. You guys are awesome. Flicker Fade, you guys have made it to the end. I know getting to the end of all my videos are the hardest. I look at the analytics or whatever, and it's like the beginning has like, 100%. The first like 30 seconds of my videos, 100% of the audience watches that. And then the middle, it's like, 50% of the people get to the middle, or sometimes skip to the middle. Like the middle gets watched by 50% of the people, but the last of all my videos, it's like not even 10%. Like, so few people make it to the end. So if you're watching this, the end of the live, then you're a real trooper, and thank you for that. I really appreciate that. And with the end of that, we'll read Todd's and Denise's and Amy's really quick. It says, with the U.S. hitting the debt ceiling, the dollar will probably lose value against foreign currencies. Inflation doesn't help either. Yeah, that's so true. A lot of people are freaking out about the amount of debt that the U.S. has. It is crazy. Eskel, you are a gem. Thanks, Denise. Amy says, I'm here too. Nice. Thanks, Amy. This has to be so nice on a Sunday evening. Thanks, Eskel, and everyone. You're welcome. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you all so much, and I hope you guys have a good week. And don't forget about next week. We're going to try to do a really long one. This one's an hour and a half, so it's going to go an hour longer than this one. I don't know for sure if I'll be able to do that, but that's going to be the goal. I just want to break my record, do the longest live ever on my 50th live. Halfway to 100, so that's going to be excited. But thank you all so much. I really appreciate the support and the love that you all show, and I hope you have a great one. See ya. Bye.